It's so funny. I said, okay, God, please let today be a nice, quiet day with nobody here so that I can just relax, be with myself, tidy up my list of things that I need to do this 3-day weekend, and, you know, keep on keeping on. So praise God, nobody's here yet, except the workers. And it's all good. Hi, baby, how are you? So I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm trying to stay in the rhythm of writing just a little bit. So hopefully maybe next October, I should have my 4th book done. Maybe. I'm not giving myself too much of a time limit. It has to be done next year. But other than that, I'm not giving myself too much of a time limit because I want to slow down and write it a lot better than my first 3 books. So anywho, I'm taking a break. I'm thinking about life and stuff, and I'm like, okay, let me see how I used to write, because, you know, I write erotica, right? Yeah, so I've written 3 books of erotica. And inside one, the first one, Ladies of Lust, excuse me, Ladies, Passions. Which one is this? Ladies of Lust. I put 3 short stories of spiritual story. And I noticed when rereading that, rereading that, I write that totally different, of course, than, you know, erotica. I tend to be a bit wordy when it comes to describing things, so therefore I had to learn how to knock out some of that. But I don't know, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Anyway, it was a glorious day in Springfield. As this is my first story that I have written that I am a white girl. Hey, no pun intended. I know you guys always say, a lot of you black men out there say I'm a white girl. Forget y'all. Thank you, baby. Have a good day. Happy New Year. And I didn't realize my mom was right. She's like, Tasha, you're white. And I'm like, Mama, stop saying that. You always say that, and I always feel bad when you say that. She says, no, you're white in the story. And I'm like, her cotton calico. If you don't know what calico is, it's a type of print, a little flowery print that, like, country girls make a lot of dresses out of that type of print on the fabric. Her calico dress slipped between her curvy, slender legs as she walked back to the house. She pulled the pot roast out of the oven and let it cool a while as she folded her towels. She said a silent prayer to God that he would send Mr. Right now. She waited many years since her husband's death. Thank God the farm was paid off. She had no worries. The only thing she disliked was going to bed alone since she was 30. How she longed to have a child and a family to take care of. She drifted off into fantasy land while shucking peas. He would be 6 foot tall with silver hair and eyes, shoulders you could build a mountain on, a chest full of hair to match his eyes, strong arms to grab her and make love to her. Her mind swirled back to normality, and she took the roast out of the oven. The smell made her think of the man that sat down at this dinner table every single night. She placed the plate there, and he pat her butt lightly and made that deep sexy laugh every night. He ate with a Cheshire grin and toyed with her while she made a poor attempt to eat her dinner, while her young, sexy, dark-haired husband distracted her. After dinner, they retired to the family room and would stare into the fire, listen to romantic country music, and stroked one another. He quickly grabbed her and carried her to the room of passion. It's amazing. Okay, I can't read that because then they'll take my video down. Yeah, they did that. I was reading my BDSM story. They took my video down. Body, arch back. Oh, just by the way, just so you know, if you go to lulu.com/Ladies of Lust, If you go to lulu.com/Lady Lustwriter, all one word, you'll see the first, I think I posted the first 5 pages of this story called Twins. Oh wow, oh wow. I needed something to warm me up. I didn't know it was going to be my own story. Molten lava. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, broke free. Okay. I am Sterling. Okay. She drifted off, went back in the kitchen. The man was sitting at her table. It was no dream. He had come back for her. Who are you? I'm Sterling, a friend of your husband's. You were a bit disoriented when I knocked, so I put you to bed. He mentioned how fragile you are. He almost had the same smile as her husband. How could this be? How? She squeezed her eyes closed to remember what happened. You remember he was in the army. We went to Bosnia. Well, we worked together there. Everyone thought we were brothers. Just happened, you know. They say we all have a twin. Yes, but I didn't figure it would be my husband to have one. He got up to fix her some tea while he explained. Here, sit. Anyway, and you know, it's a trip because obviously, you know, I'm a romance writer, erotica writer sometimes. Okay, I'm an erotica writer that occasionally writes romance. Yeah. And it's such a trip after I've read hundreds and hundreds of books on romance and whatnot. And then, it's been probably 2 years since I've read this story. And looking back on my own story, it's not so bad. Of course, thank God I have Nicole to do my editing, because we both know how I write. I tend to reverse my letters on occasion. Yeah, so it's really not a bad story. I'm really happy with my writing. It took a while. I didn't feel this way at first, but since I wrote this one, I wrote this one 28 years ago, but I finally published it 4 years ago. Yeah. So my goal was to publish a book every year. Then I started my jewelry, so I didn't publish one last year. Yeah, I'm gonna fit it all in. I know anything's possible. I can do it. I can do it. And it's a trip because, yeah, I just don't want you guys to give up. Just oh, it's called sensitive. Just don't give up, okay? The rain felt good as it dropped down and saturated her face as she sat at the curb waiting for her knight to save her from her flat tire. He was due to show up any moment now. Her intuitive senses were kicking into high gear. Not too many folks today believe that others had power greater than oneself, let alone being able to use the gift that was bestowed upon them. She noticed the glow around the coming Honda Accord. It glided over to rescue her, her hair now glued to her head. She looked like a lost wet puppy. You're gonna catch your death of a cold. Get in the car, I'll change the tire. His 6'2", broad stature stood over her. Yeah, can you tell I like large men? Tall, well-built men. Like my daddy. Shielding her from the rain. His shoulders were as wide as the Grand Canyon. She couldn't tell the color of his eyes, but she was sure they were blue. My first love. And Eric Johnson, if you're watching this video, I will always remember you. I think you better get that donut off by tomorrow. You know it won't last long, he said through glimmering eyes. Yeah, I know. Here's my card. Let me thank you by making dinner for you sometime. She suddenly noticed his bright blue aura framing his sweet, cold face. His big blue eyes shone like diamonds in the night sky. Their eyes danced together for a while. Well, I better let you go. Yeah, you should get home, little lady. You have a nice evening, okay? She knew she would she knew she met him in her last life. That was a good life together too. Sure, you be good to yourself now. I'll be expecting your call. She put her seatbelt on and giggled to herself, knowing they would be together, but wondering what look he would give her when she finally told him. Once home, she put on a pot of tea, changed out of her wet clothes, turned on some Diane Shore, great jazz musician, by the way. I have like 10 of her CDs, and began to prepare her dinner. Hi, Katie. Could you please at least let the phone ring once and stop knowing it's me? Her frustrated friend demanded. You are just too funny, girl. What do you want me to do? Just turn it off? See, because she, the phone. Yeah, okay. Kanisa, that's my character's name. I'm telling you, God gives me some really good names. But I never get the names until, because this is how I do, right? I kind of sort of tune in a little, and I just put my hands on the keyboard. And the film plays in your head as you're typing. And I'm like, did I say that? Kanisa. Oh, I sure did. Add to the dictionary. Okay, because if you don't add it to the dictionary the first time, you're going to forget. So now I just do everything the first time as soon as you come across it. Wow, he sounds exciting. Okay, so when will he call? That night, Kanisa lay in bed wondering what he was thinking. She could almost see him. She could almost see through him. She could, of course, see his apartment, through your third eye. You can like tune in, like on Electra. You called it a kurigami. I forgot what Electra called it in the movie. But people do have that ability to see like what you're doing right now, and not necessarily be in a deep trance or anything. It was already 4 in the afternoon when her mind was on the dress she was making. Yeah, I tend to put, of course, a lot of my own life in my stories. I love her 7 dress with large flowers, yada, yada, yada. The phone brought her back to reality. Hi, this is the guy who helped you with your tire yesterday. Is this a bad time? No, not at all. Well, I don't normally take ladies up on their offers of fixing dinner, but you just have this wonderful smile that forced me to call you. Friday came soon enough. The dinner was ready, the table was set, the doorbell rang. Hi, Michael, you look great. Dry. They both laughed. You have quite a cozy home. He looked at the oversized pictures on the wall in the living room. She walked through her small 2-room home. It is quite nice to meet you, Kanisa. You should be proud of yourself. So what is it you do? If you don't mind me asking such a personal question. He couldn't stop looking at her beautiful eyes. No, Michael, I don't mind at all. I have a part-time job as an HR admin for a core company right around the corner. Wow, must be nice. I'm an engineer. I wish I could work part-time. Well, if you promise not to jump out of your skin, I'll tell you what else I do. Okay, I promise. He wore a big grin on his handsome, pale face. Well, I think you will understand me when I say I do readings and healings. Sometimes I give lectures on at the metaphysical bookstore downtown. She waited for his reply. It was already hard for her to stop staring at his sexy eyes. How nice. Do you really? I've always wanted to know about that kind of thing, but I don't know how, but I have a feeling you'll teach me. He stroked her cheek, but didn't. He wanted to stroke her cheek, but didn't out of fear. Well, I could tell you about anything you would like to know. Her face was serious now, but trying to put on a smile. Then why am I here? Wow, I really liked how I wrote sensitive, more sensitive, and sensitivity expounded. And then the last one, sensitivity expounded, she has the baby, and the baby is like, 9 months, but she's acting like she's 5 years old, and she can like move things like Tabitha and Bewitched and stuff like that. Yeah, so anyway, this video is just to say, if you're a writer, please keep writing, or whatever it is you do that you want to claim yourself to be, just do a little teeny bit every day. I love you. Go have an awesome day. I'm gonna sit here and read my story. Okay, bye.